Alright guys, how's it going? Now, you might recognize this guitar. This is the guitar that I did a demo of in my $170 Chibson Les Paul review. And this guitar is a really standard Chibson Les Paul, so it's made in China, but it's branded as if it's a real Gibson Les Paul. And when I did the original review, the guitar was completely stock. Now, the real big weak point with these guitars is the stock pickups. They're not wax potted, and so they have really bad feedback problems when you start to play at higher volumes, especially with a lot of gain. So with that in mind, something that a lot of people do right when they get these guitars is to swap out the pickups. So what I've done is I've changed out the original pickups for a set of Dragonfire Screamers. Now these pickups are very affordable. You can get them on eBay for about $35 to $40 a set. So even with these new pickups in the guitar, I'm only into it about $205. Now the way I'm going to do this video is I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the playing clips and the demo part of it, and then the second half of the video is going to be kind of a tutorial as far as what's involved in actually swapping these out. So just a little background on the guitar. Keep in mind I have done nothing else to this guitar besides change the pickups, but it's a mahogany body, a mahogany neck. I believe it's a 3-piece body, and it's actually a 1-piece neck. There's no scarf joint on this one. And then we've got a surprisingly nice maple top and a rosewood fretboard. Alright, so now let's see how the guitar sounds with the new pickups. Check it out. Okay, so personally, for a $35 set of pickups, these sound fantastic. They're a lot thicker and more beefy than the old stock pickups. In this guitar, they have kind of a dark tone, which suits the traditional Les Paul sound perfectly. I think they look really great too. These pickups remind me, of course, of like a Seymour Duncan 59, which is something you would traditionally get in a Les Paul. And now one thing I want to mention that you can't hear in the video is that because these pickups are wax potted and just a much higher quality, all the feedback problems that you're going to have with the original stock pickups are completely gone. You would have no problem with this guitar now playing out live. So now, what do you guys think about how this sounds? Do you think I should have gone for more expensive pickups even though it's a really cheap guitar to begin with? Alright guys, so now if you want to do the same swap, go ahead and watch the rest of the video. I'm going to explain a little bit about the wiring of the new pickups versus the existing wiring in the guitar. Okay, so the stock pickups really aren't too bad if you're just doing bedroom playing, but if you want to go out there and play live and really rip somebody's face off, you're going to need some beefier pickups. So these Dragonfire, the Dragonfire Screamers are going to be a really good option. Of course, you've got the neck and the bridge, and these are wound to about 16.9K for the bridge and 8.3 for the neck. And if you look at the wiring here, that green one is going to be the main hot wire that we're going to connect to the lead on the volume pot. The red and white wire can be used for doing coil splitting. We're not going to go over that in this video. And then of course the main ground wire and that little black wire, that is going to go to the back of the volume pot. Now the new pickups come with these new screws for the pickup rings and also the springs that go with them. You will have to change those out because the old pickups have a slightly different thread size. So first we're just going to take off the back cavity plate here, and this was kind of a snug fit, so I had to use a little, I used a little Allen wrench just to stick in one of the holes and help pop that off there. So this is the wiring here inside the cavity, and we're going to unsolder the ground connection, which is on the back of the volume pot, and then that other little connection which goes to one of those little tangs there. That's where that green wire is going to go. But first we have to unsolder the old wiring. So here I'm holding the old wiring with a pair of pliers, and then I'm applying the heat from the soldering iron to unsolder those old connections. So this is the old wiring. As you can see, you just have a hot wire, that white one, and then the ground wire. Here's the wiring from the other pickup. Again, just 2 connections, only this is red instead of black. After you unsolder the connections in the back, you'll want to remove the pickup rings and the pickups themselves. Another thing to do if you're doing this for the first time is to take a picture of the original wiring. That way, if you get confused later on in the process, you'll always have that to go back to as a reference. Now with the new wiring, these 2 leads, the ground wire and that black wire, we're actually going to connect those together. Then the green wire is going to go to a different connection point. It's just on its own. And then the red and white wires are just going to get taped off to make sure they don't contact anything. We're not going to use those. Now here's the new pickup in the old pickup ring, and like I said earlier, I've used the new screws and springs to make this work. Now when you physically install the new pickups in the guitar, make sure to put the neck pickup in first, because you're going to have to route those cables through the body, and if you do it the other way around, you'll end up kind of trying to route it kind of blindly through that hole there, which is a real headache. So just do the neck pickup first, route those wires through, and then put the bridge pickup in. So now on the back here, I'm kind of pulling the new wires through just to make sure I've got enough length in the wires, and these pickups worked great for this guitar. Another thing I did to make this a little bit easier is I've gone ahead and labeled the volume pots that I'm going to be soldering onto, an N for neck and a B for bridge, just an extra way to make sure you don't get confused when you're doing the new soldering. So once you solder those new connections in there, and again, you're just connecting the new wires to where the old wires had come off of. Once you're done with that, you just put the back cavity plate on, and then you put the strings on, and you're pretty much set. And this looks great. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video as well as the new tutorial format. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. I'll talk to you soon.